The room rando is still in concept. That's fair enough.
I mean, how hard can it really be? You just like connect the dots in a different way than the game automatically does it.
Yeah, come on, it can't be that hard. In all seriousness, massive shoutouts to Jarno for making this randomizer as awesome as it is. It is wonderful. It's not too long. Makes for a really good game to sit down and just play. And of course, wouldn't have this randomizer without first making the game, so Lunar Ray Games, Bodhi. Also massive shoutouts to them.
They're participating in this tournament right now.
Yes, they are also in round 3. They will be up against either Jim the Eternal or Arrow Razor. Whenever that match happens. Willie in chat mentioning Archipelago. Yes, Archipelago brought a massive crowd. It was how I was introduced to this game.
Also, how I was introduced to it.
Yeah. So, yes, I would agree that Archipelago brought in a big crowd. And frankly, it is a deserved crowd. It is a wonderful game. Oh, yeah, the Jim and Arrow Razor match is not the match after this one, but after that. So 2 matches from now, we'll have the Jim and Arrow Razor match.
To advertise a couple other matches while we continue to wait. After this match, presumably probably like 40 minutes to an hour afterwards, because these aren't like super long races. At 4 o'clock today EST, we have a match of our lovely Zed, that is with me right now, and Goku Black. And then at 6 EST, there's the Jim Eternal and Arrow Razor. And then tomorrow we also have 2 matches, one at 4 p.m. EST and one at 7, and there's a couple later in the week as well.
And all the matches today are here on Speedgaming 5. So you won't have to go anywhere. Just wait a little bit.
We're your TV show. You can just throw it on. It can be on all day. You'll get constant Timespinner playing at you.
All Timespinner, all today.
Who wouldn't want just Timespinner constantly playing on their TV or web browser or mobile device?
Why not all 3 at once?
So true.
Spread the word. Timespinner on. Spread the word. Timespinner Day on Speedgaming 5.
Timespinner Day, but it only goes for like half the day.
Yeah, so at those races coming up, unfortunately, it looks like Crimdahl is still having issues with internet. So that's not looking great. Keep you guys up to date on that situation, but okay, Crimdahl has restarted their computer and is hopefully going to be with us shortly. keep you guys up to date on that situation, but and we're all set. Restarting the computer and the router fixed it. Sometimes you just gotta turn everything off and back on again.
Technology is very strange sometimes.
Okay, Crimdahl has restarted their computer and is hopefully gonna be with us shortly. Keep you guys up to date on that situation, but and our runners are readying up in the race room. And we're all set. So we will hopefully have the router fixed it. This race come into view shortly. Everything off and back on again.
Technology is very strange sometimes.
Okay, Crimdahl has restarted their computer and is hopefully gonna be with us shortly.
Alright, and we're getting ready to go.
Countdown is started.
It's time.
That's not good. And we will be underway shortly.
Any second now, any second.
So, Rasim, what kind of seed are you hoping for here? Where would you like to find our first progression, and what would you like it to be?
First progression. That's a very interesting question. Because I have a vendetta against it, I hope it's not in Siren Cave, because whenever I play a seed, it's always in Siren Cave, and it's very annoying. So I'm gonna hope that it's I want Castle to be flooded. Or unflooded, sorry. Or, actually. Okay, you know what, I'm changing this.
Plus, we've
We're going
found the damage.
Ooh, that is... Plus orb swapping will help with consistent damage. Okay, I want a water mask in Siren Caves that requires you to go to Castle Keep, which is flooded, and that will bring you to the present. That's what I want. That's what I want to see here. And it seems that Crimdahl has frozen on us.
I didn't even see what spell we picked up. All I saw that was that we picked up Orb Plus.
We picked up Crimson Vortex. And it was also minus, so we don't care about it. It doesn't get an opinion.
Okay, it looks like Crim's just dropping a few frames, but he's coming back. Early Talaria.
That is always lovely.
I wonder if we'll see a map check to see if the Lake Serene is flooded or not. Map check, because of the wonderful in-game tracker, does allow you to get a preview of what areas are not flooded. And we have Crim back on stream.
And we're just gonna have a little bit of a route divergence. We have Crim going right and Mass going left, which is a neurotoxin trap.
We have Crim deciding to go to the right. opting not to tag the warp to Lake Serene, but finding that B key card along the way. I do quite like the approach we have here from Batty, tagging that Lake Serene warp and then using it, guaranteeing that if they find a warp shard, they have in fact warped, so they will be able to use it.
Well, we also start with TBK, so they could just warp there from anywhere. So, but it is more convenient just to be able to specifically warp there. And it's kind of hard to tell, but I think Crimdahl's checking Siren Caves. Oh, and so is Batty.
Is at least tagging the... Is at least gonna tag the warp down there. It seems like Batty is going to do a very similar thing here. Tagging the upper warp and then headed down. Batty making much better use of the Unchained Keys flag set, having gone out of their way to tag the warp and then come over here so they can just warp back up. Whereas Crimdahl opted to just go down and tag the Siren Cave warp.
And interestingly enough, neither of them are checking Siren's Cave, which is only one check, so it makes sense. Or two checks. There's two checks. There's one in the hallway.
Yeah, just the two.
I always forget about the hallway.
Yeah, much better to come back with Water Mask. And that is a Timespinner wheel.
We're playing Timespinner, guys. We get to freeze time now.
The freezing time is very interesting in this game since it allows you to stand on enemies.
Which also means that we don't have to isolate bombardiers, which is nice. Often gets left for later or last, even.
Yep. Many runners just avoiding it because it's not a great location to have to go back for one-offs. Haven't seen a map check, so we don't know if we have a flooded Castle Keep or a unflooded Lake Serene yet. Batty taking some precautions, healing up. Ah yes, Infernal Flames. We have fire now, making Lake Serene a incentivizing runners to head over there, maybe, because we can now burn the vines that would otherwise block us in the present when we get there. And we do see the flooded Castle Keep. And we see some form of trap on the way up to Twins. Wonder if we'll see either of our runners pick it up because it's kind of in the way.
Well, there's a different trap for Batty
well, maybe Batty wants to pick it up because you can only have one status effect at a time. And poison is notoriously very brutal in this game, dealing 25% of your health over the course of having the poison.
It looks like Crimdahl is fighting Sandman somewhere.
Likely fighting Sandman at Twins.
Yes. So it does seem that, even though it's extremely hard to tell, it does seem that Crimdahl is a little bit ahead right now.
Yes.
About 10
It
seconds.
does seem like,
below.
yeah. But doesn't have that warp over to Lake Serene just yet. So we'll have to make up that time. Not that it's that huge of a time loss with Talaria, but that is a slight advantage that Batty has currently. Both of our runners making quick work of Sandman. Not surprising at all, given that we have the chainsaw combo, as well as an effective bell to go along with it. And here we'll see where the time Batty spent to go grab that warp really pays off, as Crimdahl has to run back over.
But Batty's gonna go check Siren Caves first.
Looks like they're going to be...
Yeah.
Who might be trying to get that ledge out of logic. That ledge logically needs a vertical, and you're not expected to get it with time stop, if I recall correctly. Unless Talaria and time stop is enough for it. Lake Serene is flooded, so our runners will be looking for that water mask before they can do much in Lake Serene.
Along with Varnagroth at Cantaran.
Varnagroth at Cantaran. This could be a rough fight. Varnagroth, a really early game boss, has some really rough patterns to deal with. And now that he has significantly more HP... That's a water mask!
That's a water mask. So maybe that is in logic right now. With dash and time stop. Wow. That's huge, actually.
Or there's a vertical somewhere in Lake Serene. Or in Upper Lake Serene.
Well, it certainly wasn't at Cantaran. The measly max aura.
That is massive for Batty. We'll be able to full clear Lake Serene and the Siren Caves while they are here. Oh, it is in logic because of Talaria. Okay.
That makes sense.
I know it's not in logic with only time stop, even though you can get there. Left making a good point. It's easier than struggle, therefore it should be in logic. That's a pink item. That'll get us access to the pink room if we head back to Royal Towers at some point.
Oh,
Time Worn. That's
so that could warp you down to Maw if Batty can.
That could be. Yes, that can get you past all of the Maw caves, but with Maw caves having a pretty decent number of checks, probably won't be seeing the full skip. As we see, that's Emperor Dad at Azure Queen.
Seeing all the bridges this seed.
Icicle Ring. Icicle Ring Plus. Let's see if either of our runners want to maybe try out the machine gun combo if we find that Wind Orb.
Crimdahl's going to be picking up his water mask in a moment as well. Which
won't be losing too much time because of Unchained Keys here, but we'll have to go back for some of the Lake Serene checks. We'll be doing a slight bit of backtracking because of that. Although did get that ledge on their first attempt. So, while they do have to do a little bit of backtracking, saves a bit of time due to not having to do that multiple times. And great damage boost through the Mushroom Tower.
Very true. Baddy's also opting to kill Canterin right now.
Taking on Varnagroff, who is weak to fire and radiant damage, so...
Well, which we do have one of.
Yeah, we do have fire. I did not see what the modifier on that spell was, though.
I did not either.
I know our Dijon's Inferno is minus, and both of our runners are sad to see that.
Everyone, including the audience, is sad to see that.
Still, no problem for either of our runners. Making quick work of Varney.
And despite the small lead that Watermask could have given, I do think the Bat Ledge, time loss, and perhaps even a little bit of Canteran makes this pretty even right now. If not even slightly in Crimdahl's favor. Oh, Crimdahl's skipping Lake Serene as a whole. Oh, nope, just grabbing the...
Nope, just tagging the warp.
I need to get my brain into that.
Yes, Unchained Keys is
Huge.
huge for these runners. The runners that can maximize the time that they aren't spending backtracking using Unchained Keys are doing super well this tournament, unsurprisingly. And a Pyro Ring.
Which is neutral, so that means fire was...
Yeah, our Infernal Flames was neutral. But that isn't a terrible option to pair with the orbs just for that bit of extra damage. There aren't a whole lot of things that are resistant to fire, and there's surprisingly a lot that are weak to it. As we see both runners.
Doesn't seem like Serene itself underwater had any significant items. Although perhaps... Baddy got the lake on over here, right?
I do believe Baddy did pick up those two checks along the way. Had the water mask, so did not have to backtrack for those two.
Indeed. So just Maw Caves is really where our progression must lie.
Yep. This is very neck and neck. Our runners are practically on each other's heels as we see Crimdahl first enter the Maw Caves.
Unfortunately does get poisoned.
That won't be too much of an issue here.
No, well, but...
And we see Baddy headed to the Maw Caves. We're right on each other's heels here. And that is a neutral Blade Orb. We will not be using that. We've got our damage figured out. Now we just need damage of other types. We don't need two forms of sharp damage. something to note. Crimdahl is making, or both of these runners are making great use of time stop to pass through the poison clouds and just avoid the enemies, which, as we all know, is the most effective way to fight enemies.
To not fight them.
Enemies have a hard time hurting you if you just walk past them, and time stop really enables that.
Oh, and there's our double jump.
There is some vertical with the succubus hairpin. Gun orb minus. Our runners are not disappointed to see that. Gun orb is kind of a meme, but it has its use cases. Gun orb minus, however, does not have any use cases. I'm sorry, Rossum. I know you like gun orb.
It's okay, I understand.
Crimdahl actually backtracking to go pick up Jackpot Room. Not surprising at all, but still worth mentioning. Oh, and that Empress robe there. Empress robe, one of the better body equipments to have. Not our best one, though.
And what will be in the room?
That's a warp shard. Immediately burning the warp shard to get back to towers. Both of our runners will be finding that warp shard, and likely both will be immediately burning it to get back to the Royal Towers, where we will be able to visit our buddy the Merchant Crow and buy a bunch. As well as maybe some Azure or Chaos Stoles. Those being some of the best equipment that you can find. Oh, and while we're here, I forgot that we had the Flooded Castle Keep Crimdahl checking that out before he goes up the towers.
Taking a nice long bath while we wait for his stream to catch up. And that and getting the lovely, very convenient warp shard. Almost like the game knew. It didn't, but...
No, the randomizer knows.
It does.
Baddy opting not to go towards the towers, grabbing that plasma crystal check.
Instead of going to kill Maw, which could pose a problem, or just checking that here in the elevator.
Leaving Maw for now. Getting these two checks, and yes, we did see Crimdahl check the Mushroom Tower room check. It was nothing. Nothing of importance, at least. Baddy rewarded with a wonderful cosmetic that they are immediately resetting out of. And headed back to that orb. Hard to tell, but it does not look like we found anything major on Crimdahl's side. Won't know if we found any good equipment until Baddy makes their way through. But we know, that, at least for now, that there aren't any major items.
But there's a max health up, that has to be pretty major.
20 health is pretty nice, but I don't think it's what...
Oh,
and there wasn't an important equipment. The Eternal Coat is our best body equipment, giving us a far superior damage stat and a really decent defense stat to go along with it. Ooh, and a Plasma Geyser Plus. Plasma Geyser, a pretty strong spell. All of the plasma spells are, or all of the plasma items are pretty strong. Only furthered by it being a plus.
And Baddy has swapped to, or has created, another ice orb set with that plasma geyser. Just interesting.
Ice Orb, being another one of the elemental orbs, has a lot of strengths and not that many, or a lot of things that are weak to it and not many things that are resistant to it. So, a good one to have. Looks like Prim also had it. Had a Ice Orb set, if I saw there
Oh, and
correctly.
it looks like Crim's already gone by? Possible, I couldn't tell. The mini-maps being... Yeah, whoa.
Looks like
resuming
they've checked
forward
it.
to the Timespinner Spindle.
Timespinner Spindle at the chest in the ground.
Crimdahl, you're supposed to find the Timespinner, not use it during the run. Crimdahl's
Yeah.
stopping time for us, that's what's happening.
So
Not
we
sure
will
there's
not be on a
anything
Timespinner Spindle hunt this race, but
Perhaps
maybe
one of
we'll have a wheel hunt instead. That is a elevator keycard in I don't even know what that area is called. I should know that.
the right tower.
Crimdahl also doing a struggle juggle. Everyone's favorite.
Crimdahl is in multiple different parallel universes collecting all the items at the same time. Already on his way out.
Our runners giving each other a high five on their way out.
I think it'd be a very entertaining seed to have the hunt be, instead of like gears or something, to instead have it be a hunt for either a B or C card to get over to lab or even the pyramid war.
Or even Davarni. That's right, we're willing final gear into Varney. Well, let's go, people. We're making the C card matter.
Well, I mean, if we don't find, you need a C or B card right now to get over to the lab. So we could lock lab behind C card in the seed so far. It's possible.
Wonderful time. Ooh.
Oh, there's a Zerion.
That is a modern
Zerion
warp
mode.
beacon to Zerion. Our runners very excited about that. Zerion caves being, or the Zerion warp being just about as far as they could be from present, or from the main present access. And we're going to see
we see Ifrit being the menace that he is.
Ifrit at Elena. Ifrit is weak to ice, so very short battle. Unfortunately, it does still float just a little bit, making it very hard. That was a Tailwind plus ring, I believe. That means we have Wind and Ice plus.
Minigun.
Will we see the minigun setup? I love the minigun setup. So I'm praying that we find that wind orb and one of our runners go for it. Celine's Bangle. We are early enough where that might be worth equipping, but with the glass pumpkin, I don't think we're gonna see it. Since that glass pumpkin does give you double time stop. Or double the amount of time stop. And oh no, Batty got chaos. Got hit by the demon and has the chaos. Oh, has the bird statue. I missed that when they did their menu. So, avoids the chaos.
But unfortunately does not avoid the damage and is struggling with all these time stop enemies in this.
And this is why it's called the Struggle Juggle. Batty, you can't open chests while time is stopped. You gotta unpause time in order to open things.
And
there we go.
And
it's
it's
gear.
a Timespinner gear. Wow.
Very glad they didn't give up there.
And meanwhile, Crimdahl teleports and gets it in 3 seconds after we finally see it there. And is already in the Zerion Caves.
Yep, Crimdahl moved on to Zerion Caves, doing it in reverse because that's kind of what we have to do here.
And it looks like Baddy's gonna get the waterfall check before going to future. Present. Not future. There's no future.
There are no future checks.
No. A shattered orb neutral.
Neutral Shattered Orb.
Everyone is sad about
And a
that.
pointy hat. Crimdahl already out of the Zerion Caves. Finding...
With an Empire orb. Or an Umbra orb. It's hard to tell.
I think that's Empire. I think that was
That
a
looked
deep
like
purple.
Empire. But we'll never know. Until about 3
Baddy
minutes from now.
going to fight the Zerion spot. It's the
Oh,
Maw. This is an easy fight. We will
This
see
is
a lot
free.
of Ice Orb action here. And goodbye, Maw. And that was a Pyramid Warp Beacon that I just spotted on Crimdahl side. Didn't see where it went.
Ravenlord.
And then Ravenlord at Kitty Boss. Short work. And that's
Yeah.
an Umbra Orb.
There we go. So Umbra minus.
Crimdahl picks up 2 of them.
We'll just need one for each orb, you know.
Yeah, one for each hand.
Yep. We're seeing Baddy collect all these Zerion items at a little bit more of a viewable pace.
Neurotoxin trap on our way into the library. Kinda rude. Fortunately, we don't need our aura currently. And our first look into the library here with Crimdahl.
The librarian just casually handing out birds for people today. And a Colossal Blade that we might.
We
use,
probably won't be
not.
seeing Colossal Blade with
No.
Plasma Plus. What's in the storage room? That's a C card!
Oh, there's our C card. Wasn't a C card, hun. I'm so sorry.
Sorry we couldn't will that into existence for you guys.
But if lab has progression, that means C card might have been required. Not that C card wasn't easy to get in the seed, but it might be one of the elements that are required. Colossal Hammer Plus, though. We'll be seeing that at some point.
Crimdahl
Baddy's
using a warp
finally
shard to
moving
get back to the center of the library.
Baddy's on
Not wasting
their
time
way out.
backtracking. Ooh, and that was a Frozen Spires Plus. We already knew that was Plus, but that is a really good spell. If you crouch while you cast it, first 2 Frozen Spires land like right on top of each other. It's great for just massive damage.
You know, we do know Empire Orb is actually plus because Star of Lachium was plus. Crimdahl's actually currently using the Empire Orb with Star of Lachium.
Yes, has that combo going. And we'll see Crimdahl in a while. Activated the time stop ability on us. So we'll see what Baddy gets up to here.
There you go.
And it
Empire
was
plus.
Empire. Going Empire, Star of Lachium, and the Frozen Spires. Now let's see what Lake Desolation has for us.
Lake
It is
Serene,
flooded.
present.
It is ever
Well, I
so
mean,
slightly flooded, but not an
I
issue
mean,
with the
where'd
water
all that
mask.
water go? We got a
Yeah.
meteor sparrow trap. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, we got an A card somewhere on Crimdahl's side.
Ooh, yes, we did find that A card. That means we'll get to visit everyone's favorite location, the Spider Hell. And that's the
Oh, and it's
second
gear
gear.
2. It also looks like Crimdahl might have gone and fought Varnagraph in their tower.
That's
V card.
the library V card. That's 3 more checks if we find that tablet.
But will we see Hellgazer Hallway? We will. Let's go. I don't know. That obviously we were gonna see Hellgazer Hallway, but
Yes.
no one wants to.
Nobody wants to. And it's just some max aura. Not what we wanted to see here.
At least it makes sense in the base game when they're guarding the gears to the Timespinner. But sometimes they're just guarding a shiny rock or something.
Blue Orb
Sometimes
Plus, that's
they're
some
not.
blunt damage if we wanted it. And Crim heading into the pyramid, hoping to find that last piece inside. And Batty considering it for a moment. Unfortunately, we know that they will not find that gear 2. Will we have another seed with regret chest required? Same as the first race between you and I.
Just in case Crimdahl gets poisoned here in the pyramid. The game kindly gave him an antidote.
You know, I don't think the game should be that nice.
True.
They did skip the pendulum in Castle Keep. It was on a pedestal. They saw it. They ignored it. I don't think the game should be being that nice to them. But that's
Ooh,
a
there's
tablet.
though. That's like at least 10 checks, maybe.
With the V card, that's a lot of added value into the library and into the labs. Not that we can get into the labs just yet, but...
Can't we get into labs?
And we cannot. We can't get into labs without the B card. We can get through the military
But
hangar
doesn't-
up to the labs.
Oh, yeah, because lab records we go directly, right?
Crimdahl doing those tablet checks.
Who uploaded sand?
I don't know why these people were uploading birds into the terminals. I don't question what the people here are doing.
How long ago do you think all this stuff was uploaded? Like, was it like recent, and then like we're just coming here right afterward and downloading the soul scanner? Let's go, our runs are valid.
Best item, Soul Scanner. We know what the enemies are called now. Because I, for the life of me, cannot remember. And we'll see that Ifrit fight from the Kobo that I'm not entirely sure where Crimdahl found it. It's probably in Pyramid somewhere.
It was also in Pyramid.
Elena, very weak to the Empire Orb. Will be going down shortly, even at a spot with like 5,000 HP.
I think we would all die very quick if someone was punching us with ethereal fists. And there's a B card. Wow. Pyramid really just
B
isn't
card.
the rest of the game.
Going to the download terminal on the right side of the library. Want to make sure don't orphan that real quick, but that's access pretty much to the rest of the game. There's not much they can't do. Except for reach to the end, they have no infinite vertical.
That is a little bit important.
Is this going to be the first ever infinite vertical lock?
That sounds like it would be
At least
lovely
first
to
of the
experience.
tournament. Because without Lightwall or Celestial Sash, and the pyramid isn't flooded, they have no way to get to the right side of pyramid.
And unfortunately, the pyramid work beacon brought them to the left side of pyramid. Oh, well, no.
Well,
All our
there's
dreams are
Lightwall.
ruined. So much
Not
for
the
all
one
of
they
our
wanted to find.
fantasies. No.
Not the one we wanted to find, but it'll work. It gets
That's
us
why
there.
Cantoran had the max aura up. It's so that we can get to the right side of pyramid. The game knew all along.
Yep.
So it's just
Being in the present
Gears
Siren
series.
Caves, wouldn't be surprised if Batty ends up skipping that. And that
Batty
A card
picking up
was
the
located
lead.
on Varney.
It was.
Just thought I'd mention that since we saw it. Was that a Shadow Seal? I think that was a Shadow Seal.
Trap. I think that was a trap.
Well, there was a trap, but I think there was also a Shadow Seal in
Oh.
there. We found more damage.
Some damage to add on to your day.
Starting to wonder where would you go next? It really running out of locations.
I feel like I would place my money on the fact that the right in front of Sandman has Gear 3, because even if it doesn't, then I'm already set up for Sandman. And also, that would be the last place that a lot of people would want Gear 3 to be.
I don't think that's a terrible bet since you would.
Oh,
And there's the gas mask. So that means we actually can get to Military Hangar in logic and into the lab.
Oh,
And
but
there's
Gear
the third
3.
gear.
Crimdahl making all the right decisions there.
Crimdahl in go mode, another seed where lasers were not required. Oh, and there's the Kobo.
Crimdahl and Batty at the same location, but unfortunately not at the same point. Crimdahl being ready to finish the game, and Batty just coming through the first time.
Yep. Crimdahl making all of the right decisions in this race. Unfortunately, failing the light wall skip, going all the way to the bottom. If you time it just right, you can follow cast a light wall and then double jump back on top and skip having to re-climb up this. I've done it once myself, and I've failed it more than once. Like, at least 3 times. As we see Batty checking regret chest, will be slightly upset to find an ether there.
Would you say Batty is regretful of that? Oh, and water mask was required for pyramid. Not that that would be a problem.
It was required in a few other places too, but, you know, just in case you had managed to dodge it up till that point.
Or
And we
did
see
you
Emperor
disable it in the menu by
Voltrellis,
accident?
who is really weak to being punched in the face. So,
Last gear was in the top of Lake Desolation.
yes, it was a fire check. And our second
our
boss,
nightmare is
Prince
oh,
Dead,
of course.
with the
Crimdahl getting hit by the Aura Blast. not
This is why
opting
you
to
don't skip
out.
cutscenes, guys. Then Dad'll get you.
Taking quite a bit of damage, having to heal a little bit.
Healing a little bit, making great use of that light wall, knowing that Dad likes to stand on the edges of the room. And now just raining ice from above. And that is GG's for Crimdahl.
Crimdahl finishing with a time of 42:32. Very clean.
Exclamation points in chat for Crimdahl. A well-raced seed.
Even though we probably only saw about half of it.
Batty
But I'm sure it
really
was thrilling.
isn't even that far behind. Unfortunately, just had troubles with a few of the time stop required locations early. We'll be finding their Gear 3 shortly. And we are joined in the commentator's booth by Crimdahl. How are you doing, Crimdahl?
I am. I just have to say that I'm sorry for the horrible quality of that stream. I can see that I could see my frames dropping that entire time.
We got the gist of what was happening, and we were able to fill in the gaps. It's all good.
Yeah, you're all good. You've just made it, as it looked like, every right decision there when it came to where to go next.
I know. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Batty currently Batty has all of the Timespinner pieces, but does not have the light wall.
Got
So
it.
they are on a hunt for an infinite vertical.
Well, hopefully, if they already have all the time spinner pieces, there's not a lot of checks that they have left to make.
They
Oh wait,
don't.
actually, I forgot I
with-
got the gas mask.
Yeah, gas mask. They're headed over to Ma.
Uh-oh.
We'll be getting through that laser gate and is likely going to skip those siren caves.
I'm very fortunate that I did fire checks last.
Yeah. You not doing those fire checks really brought you to the right place to find that light wall. It was a pretty good damage seed as well, starting off with the Eye Orb Plus, and then not too much later you found Ice Orb. And between the two, you have a lot of weaknesses covered.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely also Empire Orb and Lightwall Plus coming in big on the damage.
Yes, that was huge for your Voltrellis and Prince Dad fight. Just being able to stop time, place a few light walls, and just have those deal so much damage. Batty will be finding light wall here shortly.
Oh good. He didn't take the bait then?
Yep.
No, he didn't.
Killed Ma, but decided to do the Siren Caves before heading into the lab. On their way through the pyramid, we'll be finishing up in just a moment.
So that ended up being like what? Go to Pyramid so that you can get Kobo, so that you can get a card, so that you can go to Sirens and get your vertical. That's quite a chain.
Yeah, you get Kobo to fight the Ifrit location. I forget which boss exactly it was, but which rewards you with B, which allowed you to get into those caves. Let's see if we can see the light wall skip here. And
Yeah.
Batty getting it, not falling all the way down, saving some time there.
Making up for all the time stop fails. One interesting note about this race, for you, Crimdahl. I don't know. It was a little hard to tell because of the stream delay from your side. But Batty, I believe, had a lead, very slightly. Got water mask before heading to Lake Serene, but struggled with getting up to water mask for a
Yes.
little bit, and so the race did get back much more even around Lake Serene. But it was interesting because you had
Yeah,
to backtrack
Batty.
to get a lot of water checks that Batty did not have to do.
Yeah, Batty unfortunately had a few issues with the struggle juggle and bat ledge.
Oh yeah, got it. I'm curious. Did Batty take the warp to Maw? He probably, if he did, he got double jump earlier than I did.
No, you guys both went through Maw Caves normally. So you both had to backtrack to the jackpot room, and immediately both used that warp shard to get out. Mean of the game to make you backtrack there, but nice enough to let you just use a warp shard to get out.
Yep, you'll hear no complaints from me about that.
Batty doing very much the same thing you did. Time stop, place light walls, and they are done with a race time of 48:36. Exclamation points in chat for Batty as well. And hopefully we can get them in here shortly. Yeah, this race was very close. Unfortunately, with the time that it took, with the time stop checks on Batty's side, it really made the difference. Welcome on in,
Hello.
Batty.
GG. That was a very fun seed.
Yeah, this seed was fantastic to commentate, fantastic to watch.
I assume it's like I assumed before. It felt I did all the decisions that were needed, but I knew Crimdahl would be faster. So,
Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, we can hear you. The biggest time losses that you had were with the struggle juggle and bat ledge.
this
That
were the
was-
biggest time losses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Outside of a few decisions here and there, that's about the difference there. Crimdahl
Okay.
did not have any issues with either the struggle juggle or the bat ledge checks, and it really brought that gap.
Okay. I didn't practice that for a long time. So, but
I hear you got the light wall skip though. That's something I don't practice, and I had to climb all the way up.
okay.
Mhm.
That is what I do. No, I'm talking nonsense. In 100% speedruns, I use Sash, so I don't use that. In New Game Plus, you use it, I think. That is why I practiced that.
Yep. As you're getting towards the end, Crimdahl's last item was the Gear 3, opted to go into Siren Caves before doing any of the fire checks, whereas you did the fire checks and found that gas mask as well.
Ah, okay.
Fortunately, you didn't decide to go clear out military lab or military hangar and lab first, and did find that light wall.
I was thinking like when it's there, I probably would have been behind. So let's try the other one.
Yeah, I got spared by routing in sirens before fire checks, so I was able to have my infinite vertical before finding my last gear.
But that means you went pretty early to Pyramid, right?
I
Yeah.
went to Pyramid once I had 4 Timespinner pieces, but then couldn't progress past the pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you both did that. Got there, found your tablet, and then had to backtrack to the Ifrit fight.
Yeah.
To find the B card.
Again, I'm
A
excited to
crazy
rewatch this. It felt pretty nice to play it myself, and I think it's can be fun to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty close, although we had to infer a lot about Crimdahl's.
Yeah, my stream was dropping frames the whole time, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, Crimdahl was hitting us commentators with the time stop effect. It was quite annoying. Still plenty enough frames for us to watch, though.
Okay. I think I have time to rewatch it before the next match. Next match is in 1 hour, right?
Yep, 1 hour, right here. Speedgaming 5.
It's between Zed and Goku Black. Zed's jumping out of the commentating booth and into the player booth.
Oh yeah, good luck, Zed.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Having a lot of fun with this tournament. You guys have both played two tournament races now? 3?
This
2.
was the second for me.
Okay.
It's the second for me.
They
How do you
played some
guys
higher
feel?
speeds than we did, Zed. They got to skip around.
I couldn't remember. How do you guys feel about the flags? Like, how do they feel as you're racing?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. It's a bit chaos. You really can't take anything for granted. Unlike last year's race, where we could be sure that we needed to go through, like the hangar and the lab. Nowadays, it's just like you can never really be sure of anything. So it's always very exciting races.
From the moment I started my practice a few weeks ago, at the beginning I was not liking the flags because it felt incredibly slow. Because if I don't use Talaria, I risky dash, and that was banned. So everything felt very slow. And from stream to stream, it went like I thought I'm not good at this, but I love it. I love the routing that is completely different from everything before.
I, of course, didn't play in any tournaments in the past, but something you said that was very interesting from Dahl. I almost every single chat, I see someone use the word weird for the seed. They're like, oh, this is a weird seed. It's like, well, that's every single seed is weird. Every single one is very unique and confusing and different.
Yeah, I think these flags are great to watch. Even if they are just a tad bit confusing when you play, since they can open up so much.
Affirmative.
Alright, do we have any last notes before we end the stream? I would say we're not going anywhere, but we are going somewhere for the next 50 minutes and before the next race.
Yeah, we'll be going. Yeah, next race at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's in 1 hour. Me versus Goku Black.
Everyone go root for Zed. Woo woo. Did a great
Crimdahl,
job.
Root for both
to-
racers equally.
Crimdahl, I have to wait for our next opponents for a while, I think. I'm not sure.
Yes,
for the
you
bracket.
guys. Yes, you guys will be waiting for quite a while.
Just a few matches. Just about a round, just about 2 rounds of matches.
Okay.
Yeah, Batty, you've got 2 rounds of players to wait for, and Crimdahl, you have also 2. It'll be
I'm excited to watch some races before that and to play some seats. So,
they're so much fun. Do we have any last shout-outs before we go?
I'd just like to thank both of you for being gracious enough to commentate for us, and shout outs to Speedgaming for organizing the tournament again.
thanks from me as well.
Shouts to
And
John.
since I'm here in the same call as Crimdahl, I would love to see Crimdahl speedrunning the vanilla game. the movement is so smooth. I would love to see what you could achieve. But I don't know if you're a speedrun person for this.
I've considered it. I might pick it up if you want.
Okay. That would be great.
Be sure to follow these runners. Baddymassindex, a great speedrunner of this game, and has just convinced a clearly great randomizer runner, Crimdahl, to go speedrun this game. So there'll be so much Timespinner over there. Go give these runners a follow. And I think that's it for us. Thank you everyone for dropping by. We will see you in an hour for our next race here on Speedgaming 5.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Bye bye.